Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Satat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudodeye Pushpavanatau Chitra Sandhau Tamonudau Granthera Arambha Kori Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tine Rasmarana Hoya Vighana Vinashana Anayasa Saphal Nija Vanchita Purana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Sri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, Adi-lila, chapter number 2, Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we have covered so far till text number 117. So we'll complete this chapter today. Siddhanta boliye chitte na kari alas, iha ha haite Krishna lage sudrida manas. Very, very important verse, often quoted verse. And Prabhupada gave a very detailed purport that we should be very eager to hear the message of Krishna consciousness. We should not be lazy, alas na karibe, to hear the message of Krishna consciousness or the verdict of the scriptures. 118, text 118 here, chapter 2. Chaitanya Mahima Jani Esab Siddhante Chitta Drida Hana Lage Mahima Jnana Haite. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By such conclusive studies, I know the glories of Lord Chaitanya. Only by knowing these glories can one become strong and fixed in attachment to him. Purport. One can know the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only by reaching in knowledge a conclusive decision about Sri Krishna, strengthened by bona fide study of the conclusions of the Acharyas. Hare Krishna. So, pretty much continuation from the last verse, that one should hear from the bona fide Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and then only one can understand Krishna in his true form. Bona fide study of the previous acharyas, of Srila Prabhupada's books, of the Siddhanta, of reading and hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, then we will understand the true glories. Otherwise, he said, she said, uncle said, papa said, this will not work in the process of bhakti. Text 119, would someone like to read this one?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dhamma Pranam, all Krishna Srila Prabhupada. Text 119. Chaitanya Prabhu Mohima Kohibar Tare, Krishna Mohima Kohi Koriya Bistare. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Vichar. Just to enunciate the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have tried to describe the glories of Sri Krishna in detail. So, Krishnaraj Kavyaraj Goswami Maharaj, so side by side, comparing or giving all the details, examples, and evidence that both are none other than one. And glorifying the Sri Chaitanya means glorifying the Lord Sri Krishna himself. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Many people may have heard about Krishna in India especially, but very few, maybe 1% of those people who have heard about Krishna would have heard about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, they are the same avatari, Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachi Suta Hoilo Sei. The same Krishna is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's an important point, like to introduce a topic to someone, we should introduce a topic which that person would be familiar with. It's a nice lesson. So that you can start the conversation on the common ground and then tell more about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even on the altar, many people come, they may not be familiar. They will see Krishna Balram deities, Radha Krishna deities, they'll understand. But Gauranga Nityananda deities, it takes time. And then devotees explain, oh, you see Krishna Balram? Oh, they're the same Gauranga Nityananda. So it's exactly what Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami is sharing here. Okay, this is the second last verse, 120. Would someone like to read this one? Yes, Umesh Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, and Pranam to everyone. Text 120. Chaitanya Gosaira di Tattva Nirupana Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Rajendra Nandana. Translation by Divan Kesasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The conclusion is that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Krishna, the son of the King of Vraja. So the Prabhuji rightly said that Kaviraj Goswami has given the multiple example here, try to explain that the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Lord Chaitanya, who is it really the Lord Chaitanya? So multiple example has been given here, and pretty much convinced that Lord Chaitanya is nothing but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I think this is very straightforward. We have discussed this point multiple times in chapter 1 we read, chapter 2 we were reading again and again. That same Krishna, same Chaitanya, there's no difference. Okay, last verse of this chapter. Yes, Prabir Prabhu, you want to read this one?
Text 121. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jaroy Asha Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasha. Translation by His Divine Grace. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I Krishna Das narrates Sri Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. Purport. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta Adi-lila, second chapter, describing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabir Prabhu. So, this Rupa Raghunath Pade comes multiple times. Can anyone tell anywhere else which heard this word, Rupa Raghunatha Pade?
Sorry, Sharad Goswami Ashtakam.
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Sri Narottam Das Thakur, that Gorango Bolita Have Pulaka Shurira, that last line is also Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Rohumoro Ash.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Nandini Mataji, you were saying something?
I think it's also in the Sharad Goswami Ashtakam. It's not there.
Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti. Yes. So because Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami are the main acharyas, and here Krishnaraj Kavyaraj Goswami is taking their blessings. So basically the first two chapters are Mangalacharan and detailed explanation of Mangalacharan. Now officially kind of he's saying, Kahe Krishna Das, Caitanya-Caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Das. Now Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami is officially, by the blessings and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and the Goswamis and the Supreme Lord in his incarnations, etc., is officially going to start. First, he's like building the foundation of so Mangalacharan is very, very important, seeking the blessings of the acharyas. Okay.
Here,
Yes, please, Prabhu.
so I just want to share that why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that only Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath. I mean, he didn't mention like other acharyas. Actually, the Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas, they are saying that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, after Mahaprabhu disappeared, he came to Vrindavan to his plan was to complete his life by committing suicide from the jumping from the Govardhan Giriraj Govardhan. And then Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami explained to him that this is not Mahaprabhu's plan. So he started telling actually he got all the informations were written by Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. All of you remember that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was given to Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he had all the Swarup Damodar Goswami has a diary which he included everything what he was seeing and experiencing, because last 18 years of Mahaprabhu's renunciation life, he was in Jagannath Puri in Gambhira, and Swarup Damodar Goswami and Rai Ramananda was his always companions, especially in the night time. So Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was explaining all these things, and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was actually taking the notes. And then all the Goswamis in Vrindavan asked him to write Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the reason he mentioned about Srila Rupa Goswami, because, and that's why also we can see in Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's pranam prayer with Sri Rupa Apasiddhanta Dhanto Hari. Because Srila Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu gave him the special teaching, that is Mahaprabhu's teaching, that Swarup Bhakti, Svabhakti. And when he taught Srila Sanatana Goswami, he gave the general, like other day, yesterday, day before yesterday, Saturday, Bhadra Prabhu spoke about Sambandha, Vidya and Prayojan. That was also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught to Sanatana Goswami, told him about that. But those were explained in the Vedas before. But Mahaprabhu told Srila Rupa Goswami, which were not explained anywhere, that how to worship Krishna, Radha Krishna, not Krishna, only Radha Krishna. So that's why this is a special reason why Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning Srila Rupa and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami name. Because Sanatana Goswami was given the information general. Mahaprabhu spoke about all the different incarnations, how the different incarnations came, everything like whatever is in the Puranas, Shastras. But Srila Rupa Goswami, he gave the special instruction. That's why Srila Rupa Goswami is special. And that's why Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning their name mainly, Srila Rupa and Srila Raghunath. Krishna Guru, back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And there's a very, very special thing about this verse. Can anyone guess This verse is the last verse of pretty much every chapter, as it is. I just kind of, I was feeling I read it somewhere, and it was the last verse of the first chapter, and I quickly, skimmed through, and I found, oh, it's the last verse of third chapter. Oh, it's the last verse of fourth, fifth, and every chapter is the last verse. So whatever a disciple is doing is by the mercy of his teachers. He's always remembering that. So we can also, we see all the senior Vaishnavas whenever the beginning of the class and the end of the class. The beginning of the class starts with remembering the Guru, and the end of the class ends with remembering Guru. And whatever happens in between is just by the mercy of the Guru. That's what Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami's mood is. Our day should end with Krishna, start with Krishna, start with the Guru, and end with Guru, end with Krishna. And in between, everything will be Krishna conscious. So I really like that, how that every chapter has this as the last word, as it is, not just, paraphrase, not, here and there, as it is. So that means it is an important verse to learn, memorize. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha. Caitanya-Caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Very easy to remember. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha. Caitanya-Caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa. Okay, a quick summary of this chapter. Yes.
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's spiritual master is also Raghunath Das Goswami, right?
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's
Spiritual master is Raghunath Das Goswami. Is that correct?
I need to double check.
Mataji, I'm also looking up, and it's in the chapter. It comes under next few chapters when there is a tree of Lord Chaitanya.
We have discussed this in the before also. I exactly remember we discussed this, but
I remember. I think I read in ISKCON Desire Tree that Raghunath Das Goswami is the spiritual master of Krishnadas Kaviraj.
Yeah, and in the foreword, it is clearly said that it was a disciple of the Raghunath Das Goswami. Krishna Goswami, born in around the beginning of the 16th century, was a disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami.
correct. In the Bhagavad Gita introduction, last page also it's mentioned there. I think it's more of the Shiksha line here. The Diksha line was from Nityam Prabhu. Right, Prabhu? Okay, good. I think that when we talk about the Diksha and the Shiksha Guru, so the Diksha he took from Nityam Prabhu. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's disciple, main disciple, Narottam Das Thakur, then Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, then Baldev Vidya Bhushan, and then our Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. So that is all there. Nice point, Mataji. Anything else anyone wants to ask, share, tell from this verse, from this chapter? So there are about 120 verses, 121 verses in this chapter. We discuss about the three tattvas, the Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan tattva. We discussed the prayers of Brahmaji, that when Krishna was saying, well, I don't know who is Narayan, and then Brahmaji spoke multiple verses. So that we discuss in great detail in this chapter. And then we discuss about how Krishna is his supremacy. And we discuss the 10 topics of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We also discuss about the Shaktis of the Lord and Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, etc. The Purusha Avtaras we have been discussing also in this chapter. And then finally, the conclusion. Siddhanta boliye chitte na kori alas, iha haite Krishna lage sudrida manas. So this is a quick summary, very, very quick summary, not even a summary, just a highlight of the main points, because there are like a lot of important concepts are there, that how Krishna is the Bhagavan Swayam, and how Lord Chaitanya is non-different from Krishna. This is the main point. And he's the supreme Bhagavan, the supreme candle, the original candle, the Adi, from whom the other candles, they may appear to be the same candles, the same light, but there is one original candle, and that candle is Krishna. Okay, so anyone has any quick comments, questions, additions before we kind of move on? Okay, so we'll pass to Chaitanya